Hey guys, Kris here. In this video, we're doing the range efficiency and charging test in the Mercedes-Benz EQA. And I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for me to get my hands on this car, and finally, I have one for a whole week of testing. So if you don't want to miss out on any of the upcoming videos on this EQA, please be sure to drop a like on this video down below and also hit that subscribe button and sound that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of the videos I have coming on this car the next week. So as I said, today we're doing the range efficiency and charging test in this EQA. We're starting here at Circle K in Furuset. We're going north to the Mjøs Tower, 130 kilometers on a motorway, and then turning around there and going back to this starting point. And then when we get back here, we're going to look at the consumption, and then we're going to connect to a charger to see what kind of charging speed we get after a few hours driving on the motorway, and also with today's conditions, which are 20 degrees Celsius now. I think it's going to be 24, 25 degrees, you know, as the day progresses. It's cloudy now, but yeah, the sun should pop out later. So we're just charging to 100% here, guys, and then we will be on our way. We are now Oscar Mike, and we've been on the road for a little less than half an hour, done 48 kilometers. And guys, look at this. The consumption is quite low, 19.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers with an average speed of 105 kilometers an hour. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. That's actually quite impressive, and it's dropping now. So yeah, it will be interesting to see the consumption at the end of the trip. But I have to say, we do have a slight tailwind. We have a wind about 3 meters per second from the southwest. We are heading north now, so that doesn't mean, you know, the wind is 3 meters per second, the wind that hits us. But yeah, I don't know the math of that, but we do have a tailwind, and that may be contributing to the low consumption. And guys, it's very interesting hopping out of, you know, the EQC and right into this EQA, because obviously it's a downgrade, because it's not as quiet, you know, the materials aren't as nice, but the front cabin here is more spacious. I mean, it's more roomy, and I prefer the design here. It's more practical in front, and you know, immediately it looks like there's a little less glossy black plastics that will get scratchy and dirty. You have them, you know, here in the center console in the front. And also these screens, I think they're the same size. They may be a little bit smaller here in the EQA, but the interface is just a little bit different. I mean, the UI is just a little bit different. You can see, you know, the consumption here, what that looked like in the EQC was a little bit different. And this car also has a head-up display, but what it doesn't have is auto steer. It only has lane keep assist, and that is quite annoying, because I do like my auto steer. You know, I've had that since my Volvo XC90 back in 2016, though that was only Pilot Assist 1, which had, you know, auto steer only up to about 50 kilometers per hour. But later in 2018, I got my second XC90, which had, you know, auto steer up till, I don't know, like 140 kilometers per hour. So I'm used to driving in that way. I think it's much more safe than lane keep, because lane keep is more passive. It catches you out, while the, you know, auto steer keeps you in the lane, and it will let you know if it wants to put your hands on the wheel. So it's much more interactive, in my opinion, making it much more safe, and it also keeps you centered in the lane, so it makes driving much more comfortable. Oh guys, and also the temperature is now up to about 22 degrees. So we're just gonna soldier on now. Hopefully it won't start to rain, even though we have some dark clouds, and then I'll catch up with you guys when we get to our turnaround point in Brumunddal at Mjøstårnet. It looks like we're hitting some roadworks here, and according to the GPS, the road is closed. And when I did this test, a while back with the EQC, the road was closed in the other way, because they were resurfacing the road, and it looks like they are resurfacing the road here. But the question is, when will we be able to get back on the motorway? Good story is that, yeah, look, the trucks are letting the trucks pass over there. But yeah, again, this is going to affect the time, but I mean, I only have this day to do this test, guys. So okay, 19.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers after 91 kilometers doing 106 kilometers an hour in average speed. So I mean, if we're lucky, we will, you know, probably get a little bit closer to that 100 kilometer an hour speed we usually have on this test. If not, it will be closer to 90 like in the EQC. But yeah, I'm just going to have to just try to, you know, continue and finish this test, and we'll just have to see, yeah, how it goes. So we're gonna follow the detour here, and yeah, sure, okay, yeah. They're letting trucks pass there and not cars. Okay, so we're just gonna follow the detour here, and I'll catch up with you guys when we get closer. Okay, so finally we are headed back to the motorway, and our average speed is now down to 90 kilometers an hour, which isn't too bad. I mean, we've covered 104 kilometers, so I think if we just, you know, keep the normal speed that we usually do, which is 10 above the speed limit on the speedometer, then we should, you know, get close to that 100 kilometers per hour average speed. So I don't think this is going to affect the consumption too much. So yeah, so we're about 26 kilometers away from our turnaround point, and I'll catch up with you guys when we get there. Here we are, guys, exit 73, and we have the Mjøs Tower, Mjøstårnet, tallest wooden structure in the world, 86 meters, and also the new construction next to it. We were just here, I don't know, half a week ago, not even a week ago, so they haven't come really much further. And guys, look at the consumption, 19.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and our average speed is up to 94 kilometers an hour. That is not bad. That is not bad consumption. And also our speed has, you know, picked up. So I think when we get back to Oslo, we will probably be closer to 100 kilometers an hour in average speed. And yeah, that is not bad at all. And then let's take a look at the consumption, or the battery percentage rather. Let's go ahead and click there. And then I have to swing around here first to give you a better look at the Mjøs Tower in the beautiful weather. Yeah, look at that, guys. That's something to look at. I mean, that's a very, very nice building. Okay, so we are currently at 62%. That is interesting, 61%, because isn't that the same percentage we were at with the EQC under similar conditions? Though we do have a tailwind, so it will be interesting to see what that effect will have on the way back. So, okay, we're heading southwards again, guys, and I will catch up with you when we get back to Oslo. Okay, we are now back here at our starting point here at Circle K in Furuset. So we're going to choose a charger here, 150 kilowatt charger, and then we're going to connect. So fortunately this car has a kilowatt readout, so we don't have to go to a different station that we usually do to, you know, measure the speed. Let's see. Okay. And then let's take a look at the consumption, guys, because the consumption is quite good. Look at that, 19.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We have an average speed of 99 kilometers an hour. We actually had 101 when we exited the motorway, but we had a little bit of traffic in the roundabout. So, I mean, speed is pretty much up. And then our temperature is 24 degrees. So, yeah, pretty warm day today, even though it is cloudy. So we're going to turn off the ignition here, and then I'm going to find my chip here, my RFID chip. I do apologize, guys. I have it here on my keychain. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect to the charger. And I do apologize for all the noise, but we are next to the main road here. Okay, so let's connect to the charger here, and hopefully we will have no issues at all. Okay, connection okay. And yeah, so okay, so it's communicating. Let's go inside. So let's check what speed we do get. And I'm going to leave the ignition off. And this is quite annoying. So I just exited the car, and then it puts the seat up like this. And then if I put on the ignition, it will put the seat back, or I have to hold in the memory button. But it only does that with the seat back, not the height or the distance. Okay, so let's see what kind of speed we do get. We were at 21% battery, which is pretty good. And like the EQC, it seems to be, you know, increasing the speed in steps. And I'm going to keep the ignition off. It is getting warm in here, you know, 24 degrees outside. Fortunately, we don't have any sun. If we had sun outside, yeah, it would be pretty darn hot in here. But okay, the speed is climbing. Hopefully we will hit that peak speed of 110 kilowatts. And what will be very interesting, guys, my next test is the 10 to 80% charging speed and charging time test. And I am pretty confident that this car can, yeah, get pretty good charging speed in kilometers per hour, because it has, you know, very good range from this 66 kilowatt hour net battery capacity. And guys, look at that. 108 kilowatts at 23%, 109 kilowatts at 23%. That is better than what I got. 110 kilowatts at 23%. And guys, you can see the ignition is off. Everything is off here. You know, everything is off, so you guys just can see that. 111. That is pretty good. That is a few kilowatts more than we got in the EQC. So yeah, guys, this is pretty impressive. Before we end the video, let's take a look at the consumption and calculate our theoretical range. So as we saw, 19.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. This car has a 66 kilowatt hour net battery capacity. So if we take that battery capacity divided by 19.9 and then we subtract about 3% in heat loss, that gives us a theoretical range under today's conditions of 321 kilometers, which is, I mean, it's not too bad. It's not the best, and the consumption is good, and it's not much better than what we got in the EQC, even though with the EQC we had, you know, much worse conditions, with the Roadworks bringing us on a much bigger detour, and I tried to make up, you know, the time by going at a larger speed. That car had about 316 kilometers of theoretical range, but I know from the driving I've done with that car, you know, my Norwegian high-speed run, in that video, yeah, the car would have managed like 350 kilometers. So it will be interesting to see when we go on a different route what this car can actually do. But I was hoping, you know, for a little bit more range because of that low consumption. But, you know, this smaller battery pack is a contributor to the low consumption because that keeps the weight down. So I don't know. Of course, if this car had an 80 kilowatt hour battery pack net capacity or 75 kilowatt hour, this car could have gotten like 350, maybe 360 kilometers. So, I mean, the consumption is very good. It's just held back by the smallish battery pack. But still, I mean, 320 kilometers of range at 99 or 100 kilometers an hour isn't too bad. But we have to consider the warm temperatures we had today, which really helped with the range. So guys, let me know what you think about the range here in the EQA under today's conditions, and also what kind of charging speed we got. I'm pretty impressed by what we got. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.
Cloudless skies in the midday.